Hello, everyone. Welcome to a little special Penguin Academy nose at some new information for Blood Bowl third season, coming probably in November, right? We'll see if it mentions a release date in this. I don't normally do these kind of videos. I normally do game analysis, but I'll chuck this up anyway. Somewhere. Actually, this news has been out an hour and a half or something, so the Bonehead podcast video has probably been out an hour and 29 minutes. And somewhere Jim is very sad that he wasn't awake to do this. So let's have a nose. Today, 21st of October, we've had some new news about Blood Bowl Season 3. Token skills and roster changes. Roster changes is the big thing that we are going to nose about. A little bit of Jim and Bob stuff. Lead games developer Jay to find out what sort of changes fans of Blood Bowl can expect when the new season drops. Hello, Jay. Developing a new edition of any game provides a whole host of challenges and opportunities to get stuck into. The Blood Bowl rules team spent countless hours analysing the previous edition, breaking it down, looking for what could be improved, and reading through all the feedback from you, the avid Blood Bowl fan base, to ensure that this new season would be in line with what the fans wanted. I'm telling you now, that's probably not true, is it? Let's be honest. None of that's true. Nobody listens to us. What almost certainly happened, as we'll find out, is they all got together in a room, the four people who care about Blood Bowl, and made decisions based on what miniatures will sell better and how much hassle it is to sell one of these lesser games that isn't 40k or Age of Sigmar, and then change some of the rules accordingly. The most important thing to point out is that this new edition of Blood Bowl is still the game we all know and love. Those who have worked on and play-tested the new edition are first and foremost die-hard Blood Bowl fans who want to see every aspect of the game thrive. A lot of love and passion has been poured into this edition, taking on as much community feedback as we can to deliver what we believe to be the best edition of Blood Bowl to date. Let's see. With that said, let's have a look at some of the key changes you will find in the new edition. Good models, by the way. I do like the models. The ones that are coming in the box set, the Tomb Kings and the Burts. Really nice looking models. Clearer wording and terminology. Though it may not be as immediately obvious as some of the other changes on this list, a huge amount of effort has been put into rewording the various rules to be clearer and use consistent terminology. The aim has been to make the new edition easier to navigate and follow for new and veteran coaches alike. A good example of this is when a player becomes distracted, which is now the catch-all term for when a player loses their tackle zone. So when a player fails their roll for Bonehead, really stupid, becomes subjected to hypnotic gaze and so on, they are now said to be distracted rather than having to explain it every time. That is a good rule. We all agreed that that was good when it was mentioned in the first article. The Secure the Ball action, already revealed in a previous article, there is a new action called Secure the Ball. This was designed to make it far easier for players to pick up the ball when there is no pressure on them, which should be an easy thing to do, correct? Now, a player can declare this action, make a move action to the ball, and attempt to pick it up on a 2+, regardless of their agility. Once they've picked it up, their activation immediately ends. We did talk about this, so yes, it ends immediately upon picking it up. Now, there are some caveats to this. A player cannot declare this action if there is a stand-in opposition player who is not distracted within 2 squares of the ball. Additionally, a player that is a big guy or one with the unsteady trait. So there we go. Unsteady is what it's going to be. So I suspect we will see unsteady on things like mummies and Saurus. Cannot do this. We've seen this picture before of the new things, the handy Blood Bowl tokens. There's no point in reading about these. Excuse me. Prone and stun tokens. Previous editions, have this game with its own set of issues, some rather large models, particularly a model as a big guy would take up multiple squares when laid down. So yeah, I mean, the tabletop world already use these. People like Charlie Victor will be happy to see this because they can sell another range of new shit. That'll be nice. Oh, mummies are going to be called big guys. Okay. Yes, we know how to use tokens. Tabletop World's been doing it forever. Welcome to the modern era. One of the biggest aspects of feedback was that passing had become far too restrictive and borderline pointless. Oh, excuse me, I need to cough. Sorry for the pause. I have a handy mute button for when my condition kicks in. It was overly complex and confusing for many coaches. We've taken that on board and removed wildly inaccurate passes and deflections. Good, we all wanted those gone. They were stupid. This not only makes passing and intercepting easier, but also makes them simpler to understand. No longer do you need to do additional math, etc. It's now either accurate, inaccurate, or a fumble. Yes, that's fine. And intercepting is now either intercept or not. Simple. I didn't hate the deflect. It should have been one roll, though. I like the idea that interceptions were basically the same role as passing. So instead of accurate, inaccurate, or a fumble, it was intercept, deflect, or nothing. Because deflecting is still cool, right? To be in the game. Like it's a bit shit that now. No, GC, it's the opposite. It's saying that now either you intercept and have the ball, or you don't do anything. There's no like bat it out of the sky. No, I think one roll was better, PC. So like a 6 was a straight intercept, but then for some players, like a 5 would be a deflect. Or for maybe most players. Like just one roll, same as passing, as they're saying, right? It's either accurate, inaccurate, or fumble. So it's either intercept, deflect, or you've missed it. It feels like they didn't need to take deflect away. But it didn't need to be 2 rolls to intercept, which is insane, right? It just means intercepts never happened, really. I don't like this next one. Additionally, many players have had their passing ability improved, meaning it's not just throwers that can throw. That's the change that I liked. That you made throwers relevant. No one wants to go back to like elves being able to pass the ball around. No, it's not. It's not fine, Hydra. Some throwers are only 3+. Unless this means that some, some 5s go to 4s, maybe. That's it. New skills and traits. The new edition introduces a number of new skills and traits, providing new abilities for your players, like steady footing, mentioned in the release article. Punt allows players to kick the ball forward without causing a turnover. Oh, baby, that sounds interesting already. We have an actual punt with no turnover. Taunt allows the player to force an opponent to follow up when they are blocked. This is what we were talking about, wondering if dwarves could get it. Yeah, reverse fend. We kind of made this up on stream at some point, didn't we? I'm not saying they stole it from us. We were just talking about it, skills, and we were like, why isn't there a, drag towards you? Everything's got a reverse skill, but like frenzy doesn't have one. Like reverse frenzy or reverse fend or whatever, like. And bullseye allows a big guy to not have to scatter a thrown player as long as they make a superb throw. So you can actually make a big guy on like an ogre team maybe who can throw snotlings directly at the ball. This isn't for one turns, surely. You need to scatter with a one turn. Well, I guess actually you don't, do you? Hang on. That's not true, is it? It depends on where you throw from. You don't need to scatter. Yeah. You can just lob 6 forward directly. Many skills and traits have seen improvement. Monstrous Mouth now allows a player to perform the Chomp special action. Armbar rewards SPP for casualties caused by it. I think we are going to see dwarves with armbar. This feels like dwarves are getting armbar if they're changing it to SPP. Armbar is essentially +1 to the armor roll if you fail a dodge from someone with it. And shadowing is now a straight 50-50. Shadowing is a straight 50-50. It's not so much that it's good, Dementor. It was good before on only some players. Now it's a good run. Oh, sorry. Now it's a good random. Now you can random it on a general, assuming they haven't got rid of randoms. We'll find out. Now it's an interesting pick for linos. Even slow linos like dwarves, yeah. Finally, there is also a new category of skills, devious skills. Some players like goblins will have access to these as primaries, others may have them as secondaries. Whilst players who traditionally adhere to the rules of Blood Bowl may not have access at all, there are a number of new skills in this category, and a number of others have moved here as well, such as Dirty Player, Pile Driver, Shadowing, Sneaky Git, and more. So Shadowing and Dirty Player are in devious skills. This is it. This is the bit we're all waiting for, isn't it? Team roster changes. Perhaps the biggest change in the new edition is that all of the rosters have been looked at, tweaked, and changed to provide a new and exciting challenge for coaches. The first thing to note is that the number of positionals on a roster will now match what is in the team box, meaning you should never have to buy a second box just to get more blitzers, runners, etc. Can we be very clear that this directly contradicts what he said at the start, which is that we changed the rules in consultation with listening to you guys and like all other kind. Clearly you've changed the rules to match the existing box sets. That's not a coincidence. You didn't all sit around and come up with rules and were like, wait a minute, these happen to match the box sets that we already sell. Which means, as we'll see soon, I'm sure, for the first time in 35 years, Skaven only have 2 gutter runners. Orcs only have 2 blitzers and 2 big uns. Dark Elves only have 2 blitzers. Chaos don't only have 2 warriors in the box set, they have 4. Chaos are a complete team. Dwarves are a complete team. The teams that get screwed are the teams that have 0 to 4 positionals. Yeah, big guys are not included in the boxes anyway. Let's look to see the examples. There are a couple of exceptions to this. Positionals that were entirely separate from the contents of the team box, such as Goblin secret weapons, Dark Elf assassins, Bull centaurs, and big guys. They will remain untouched, as they don't require you to buy a second team box and have a load of redundant models. Additionally, the Ogre team will still allow 0 to 6 Ogres, as otherwise the team simply doesn't function. Whilst this will mean that a number of rosters will lose a number of their better players, what we have done is rebalance a number of positionals with improved stats or skills across the board to account for this. Here are some examples to showcase this. A Skaven team can now take 2 gutter runners, but their blitzers have gained movement 8 and strip ball. Unless they've gained agility 2+, I don't think that matters that much. Dark Elves can now take blitzers, but their runners have gained punt, and their assassins have gained hit and run, which now works with stab. Assassins gaining hit and run while being movement 7 means Dark Elves can do 1 turns. the Amazon one turn because they have witches with frenzy. They can do the Amazon one turn. So Dark Elves might be interesting, especially with punt runners, with the punt thing. So this might actually be an interesting change. We'll see. Obviously, we don't know until we play it, but this seems kind of interesting. It makes... I mean, I'll be sad to lose the actual Dark Elves. And of course, the problem is going to be price. Like, the cost of trying to get this team might be a problem. But these are interesting changes. Shambling Undead can now take 2 ghouls, but they gained regen. So Undead are now a full regen team. And the zombies gain eye gouge. For anyone who doesn't remember, eye gouge makes your opponent lose tackle zones. Yes, it distracts them. Undead looking tasty. No idea, Muppet. It will have to, yeah, I'm certain there'll be some kind of block action, won't it? Like stab or whatever. We thought it was going to be an anti-guard skill. Because if you don't have tackle zones, guard doesn't work. That's what it was, yeah. It stops you from providing assists, not tackle zones, sorry. That's why it's different to distracted. So you don't lose block or anything, but if you're not providing an assist, then you're not a guard, right? So it's an anti-guard skill. So zombies can like poke a guard in the eye. Do humans only get 2 blitzers in the box? Okay. I mean, but based on these changes, humans might not be fucked, right? It depends. If they're only getting 2 blitzers and 2 catchers, they're going to make the blitzers and catchers better. I would guess the blitzers will have an extra skill and the catchers might have an extra skill or something. Yes, and the examples, as you're correct, GC. The examples don't include humans or orcs. It's just rats and dead and dark elves. Yes, that is 2 people said the same thing. That is a bit of an issue. The less positionals you're allowed, the more identical the teams will be. These are by no means the only roster changes. Every team has been reassessed, with many teams gaining improvements, new or different skills, or new special rules which will change how they play on the pitch. The main aim of these changes is to provide coaches with a new gaming experience. Many coaches have seen Blood Bowl as a solved game where the best build for each roster is already determined. No, it's not. The new edition will shake all of that up and provide experienced coaches with a brand new challenge to get their teeth sunk into. I do agree that it's interesting that it's all different, right? But you've cut down on choices. So like it'll be a shorter amount of time before the exact same situation comes. Third edition will be available to pre-order. Third season edition will be available to pre-order soon. So make sure to keep your eyes on Warhammer Community. I mean, it's almost certainly going to be next month, right? November. I think interesting is the word I'm going to use. Do I think some teams are going to be worse off? Yes. Do I think some teams are going to be better off? Yes. It will definitely change up the meta of which teams are the best and which teams are not. Does seem a lot like Skaven have lost their day in the sun and will drop down, but we don't know what's happening to the rest of their team. This might not be the only change to their roster. The Blitzers. They might get something else on their other players. Yeah, we'll see if vampires get the 3+ hypno, which drops them, even though it's not needed at all. Amazons just really need price changes, so they're not so cheap. Dark elves will now gain assassins, and will they still be the best elves, which they currently are? Don't know. Undead seem like they're gonna plow to the top. Those seem like two buffs. I don't think losing ghouls, but having the two that you get gaining regen and zombies coming with a skill is a nerf. I think that's a buff. Woodies lose 2 catches, right? But as we've seen here, things might change, right? Woody catchers might get sprint back. That will make them better at NAF style again. Pile driver on the tree. They might get timber on the tree. They're the only tree that's missing timber. Oh, goblin trolls should absolutely not have loner. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that halfling trees don't have loner and goblin trolls do. Anyway, thank you very much. I'll probably just post this on the YouTubes just for people to have a nose. I don't expect it to do a lot. We don't really do this. In the future, I will do stuff like this when I take YouTube's a bit more seriously than a place for just game analysis. But, this was interesting to talk about today. And we will see you back in the game analysis next video.